Hey everyone, welcome to Club Cal Online. I'm Grace and I'm here with Kaylani, and we're going to take you through a handstand prep class. And this class is it's a great warm-up. It's a great prep for a handstand workout. We're not going to get too deep into handstands, but I am going to take you through some shoulder movements, some wrist movements, and some hand stuff. It's a pretty typical routine that I like to do before I train handstands. I take all of my classes through this routine, so it's just a great way to get ready for your handstand training. What you guys need today is a yoga mat or just some comfortable floor space. We will be doing some things down on the floor. We have a PVC pipe. If you guys have something like this, or a wooden dowel or a broomstick handle, that will work perfectly. And then also just a little bit of wall space when we do our one set of warm-up handstands at the end. Are you ready? Okay, so we're gonna start off just with some shoulder circles. You're gonna start with your right arm, and super simple, we're just gonna take some circles backwards. And we're gonna go for about 30 seconds. Good, and you can see Kaylani has his hands right on his rib cage. Reason being, right, he's already thinking ahead. What we don't want is to arch into it. So if your shoulders are super tight, your arm circle might not look quite as big. That's okay. We do want to keep that hollow body, meaning the ribs are pulled down and in, because this is what we want for our handstand. Good, we're gonna stay on the same side and we're just gonna switch directions. So now we're going back to front or opposite of however you guys were doing it at home. Good, yep. And ideally, if you're able to, we wanna move not just the arm, but we wanna move the scapula as well. I'll show you with this arm. So scapula is moving back, it's moving up, it's moving forward, it's moving down. We're getting that entire shoulder girdle mobilized here. Are you feeling mobilized?
So mobilized.
Good, 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 good. Okay, and go ahead and rest. Then we're gonna do the same thing on the other arm. We're gonna take that left arm and we're gonna go front to back. And again, if you'd like to do like Kaylani is, have that hand right on the rib cage for a little bit of feedback. That way, if you do start to poke the ribs out, yeah, you'll know, right? You have that feedback from your hand. And again, if your shoulders are tight and you don't have a big range of motion here, it's totally fine. You just move through whatever your range of motion is. Good, and then we're gonna stay on this same side and we're gonna go the other direction. So now back to front, trying to get the scap, again, to move as much as possible. There we go. And if you guys watch Kaylani's shoulder at the top, he's really shrugging up, right? He's pushing that shoulder up towards his ear as hard as he can because he knows that we're preparing for handstand, right? And one of our major shoulder positions in handstand is that shoulder elevation. So he's already thinking ahead. Good, 3, 2, and 1, beautiful. All right, let's shake out those arms a little bit. We're gonna do some standing swimmers to continue to warm up the shoulders. You're gonna start with the hands behind your back. You're gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together, squeeze the elbows together, and then start to pull the hands off the back. And then you're gonna come up and then bring the arms behind the head. Good, and then the whole time pulling the elbows back. Good, nice and slow. We're gonna do this for a minute. Perfect, and all this is doing is just serving as another shoulder warm-up, getting lots of blood flow into those joints. Good, you can see him hitting that shrug at the top. The whole time, pulling the hands back, pulling the elbows back. Yep, he's pulling back, 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 back. He's hitting that shrug. Boom, hands behind the head. Good, we're just about halfway. We're only doing this once, but we are gonna spend a full minute here. Nice adjustment. How's those shoulders feeling?
Warm.
Warm, good, good. That's exactly what we're going for. Good, guys, got about 15 more seconds. Let's try to get 1, maybe 2 more reps, but no rush here. Better to go slow, work through that rotation. That's awesome. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, let's shake it out. We're gonna come back to the shoulders, but before we do, we're gonna warm up the wrists a little bit. So let's come on down to the floor, and we're gonna start with my favorite wrist and hand warm up for handstands. the first knuckle push-up. So you're gonna start on hands and knees. We want shoulders stacked right on top of the hands, not behind them. And you're gonna pop up just onto that first knuckle, and then we're gonna go slowly on the way down. Up onto that first knuckle, slowly on the way down. If you're not able to get any lift, bring those knees even closer, okay? We're gonna go for 30 seconds here, and go ahead and begin. Perfect. And after a few reps here, you guys are gonna probably feel some warm up in this side of the forearm, maybe into the hand. That's exactly what we want. I'm gonna spend lots of time warming up the wrists here. Handstands is a lot of weight on our wrists. So really important that as we're training, we're building up our wrist strength and our wrist mobility as well. Now we're gonna continue to do the same thing, but we're gonna turn the hands to the side, and it's the same thing, up and down, up and down. We're just going for about another 30 seconds here. Really aim to go slow, especially on the way down, right? Control that negative. Good, feeling that nice burn through the forearms, that blood flow, okay. Good. Awesome, and then we're gonna do one more. We're gonna turn the hands backwards and do the exact same thing. Now this one's a little bit weird. You might have to shift your weight forward a little bit, and then same thing, up onto that first knuckle and back down. Another 30 seconds here. Awesome. Good. If you're really bendy here, you might be able to go farther back, but for most of us, we're gonna have to get those shoulders forward to make this one happen. Lots of blood flow into those forearms and wrists. Good, let's do a couple more here for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're gonna shake it out a little bit. Now we're gonna warm up the other side of the forearm. So now we're gonna start in that same position, palms flat. This time, you're likely gonna have to lean back a little bit unless you have super mobile wrists. Then from here, you're gonna lift your first knuckle and your fingers up towards your shoulders and back down. A common mistake is to wanna bend the elbows. Actively push the front of the elbow forward as you pull your fingers back. So again, if you're right here, it's not gonna happen. So you might have to lean back a little bit. All right, let's do it. And then we're gonna do that in all 3 directions. Good, and spread those fingers wide, just like your handstand. Yeah, and this one just kind of sucks, but it's really hard. It doesn't look like much, but if you guys are following along at home, right away you're gonna feel all of this stuff just burning like crazy. Good, and what we're doing here is we're just working some active active wrist mobility, right? Because ideally for a handstand, we want this mobility, this angle in our wrist, and we're building strength in that angle right here. All right, then we're gonna come out to the side and we're gonna do it. The wider you go, the easier it is. So find a width where you can lift, but it's still challenging.
The walrus.
Walrus, yeah. We can call this the walrus. Awesome. Still sucks, yeah? Super. Okay, great. And just to clarify too, guys, it shouldn't be painful in a sharpshooting way. It should just feel like a really intense, muscle burn across the top of the hand and the wrist and the forearm. Doing great. Let's get a couple more reps here. Lovely. And then we're gonna go the other direction. So for this one, you're most likely gonna have to bring a knee between your hands and lean forward so that you can get that lift. Good stuff. This is our last one, and then we're gonna stretch those wrists. And again, guys, today's class can work as a standalone, just really light handstand day. Or like I said, this is kind of the series that I tend to go through on my own and with my classes to get us ready for handstand work. Also makes a great like recovery day workout. Okay, let's shake out those wrists. Whew, are you all pumped out? Like right after climbing, right? Excellent. All right, now we're gonna stretch them out. So let's bring the palms down, spread the fingers really wide, and we're gonna make our handstand grip here. So instead of having the fingers all flat on the floor, you're actually gonna bend that middle knuckle, make like some spider legs, and then we're gonna lean forward and stretch it out. There we go. Good, good, good. And you can see Kehlani's got a perfect handstand hand. All of his first knuckles are down on the floor. That finger pad is really gripping the floor, and then that middle knuckle is up to give him a little bit more traction. We're gonna talk about this a little more later on. Guys, let's bring those fingers back, and we're gonna lean back. And feel free to take some movement here if it feels good. You can take a little side-to-side movement. If you guys are new to handstand training, it's a lot on the wrist, right? You're putting your whole body weight on top of your wrist, maybe for the first time ever. Guys, let's flip it over. Let's go backs of the hands down. So just know that it does take some time to build up that strength in the wrist. If they're feeling a little sore at first, totally normal. Make sure you ease into it. Prepare the wrist first before going upside down. Now we're gonna go back into our shoulder warm-up, and we're gonna do some plank walk-up. So this is a great way to get a little bit inverted and get some weight on your shoulders without putting all your weight on the shoulders. You wanna show us how it's done? You guys are gonna start in a plank. And when you set it up, create those same handstand fingers, right? Grip the floor, shoulders are on top of the wrist the whole time. Then from here, he's just gonna walk his feet as close to his hands as he can get them. As he's on his way up, he's pushing the shoulders up to the ears. You guys can see this amazing shrug that he's got here. Then he's gonna walk back out. Notice the shoulders stay stacked on top of the wrist the whole time. You can go ahead and rest for a second. Yeah, shake it out. You got an extra rep in. Guys, we're just gonna go for time here. We're gonna go for about 30 seconds. You'll probably get maybe 3, maybe 4 reps. Again, what I want you to focus on is as you're going from your plank to your handstand, you start to push and shrug that shoulder way up to the ear as best you can. If your hamstrings are tight, you might not get those hands, or you might not get the feet way in towards the hands. That's okay. Get as close as you can go. All right, here we go. We're going for 30 seconds. Let's start in our plank and begin. Awesome. As you guys can maybe see, Kehlani has amazing compression, meaning he can get his legs really close to his chest. That's awesome. Again, guys, if you are not there yet today, that's okay. The main focus here is on the shoulders. Good, we got about 10 seconds left. Every time you come up into this inverted position, make sure shoulders are stacked on wrists, and then push tall as you can through the shoulders. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Another one that looks easy, but it is definitely not. Okay, now we're gonna do our prone line drill. This is just to kind of help us ingrain our handstand line. And get that muscle memory before we go upside down with it. So you're gonna lie on your belly. You're gonna grab your dowel or broomstick handle, and we wanna create our handstand line. So let's go a little narrower here. We want hands shoulder width apart, right? We wouldn't be super wide in a handstand. We want them shoulder width, so we're gonna create the same thing here. We want legs together, shoulders pushing up to the ears, and also notice that Kehlani has his chin on the ground and he's looking forward, right? This is the position you would have in a handstand. You wouldn't have your chin tucked down. This is a lot easier, but this isn't what you would do in your handstand. So make sure you have that gaze out. Then from here, he's gonna push that dowel away from him and then try to lift it up. Good, and then back down. Whew. Okay, we're gonna go for 20 seconds, lifting and lowering. Your goal is to keep your chest on the ground, chin on the ground, and lift without arching your back, all right? And let's do it. This is crazy hard, harder than it looks. If you guys are not getting any lift at all today, that is okay, because you're still gonna be working your shoulders like crazy. Also probably means that your limiting factor is your shoulder mobility. How's it going down there? Sounds about right. 3, 2, let's get one more big lift. Yeah, again, harder than it looks, but it really helps us ingrain that shoulder position while we're still on the ground. The last one we're gonna do of this series is we're gonna do a crow pose. And the purpose of this one is to start to feel the weight in our hands, right? So if you're familiar with yoga or you've done this before, you might have seen this. We're gonna create those handstand hands. So middle knuckle is up, bend the elbows, knees comes to the backs of the arms, and you can keep your feet on the ground here, or you can lift one foot, or you can lift the other foot. Either way, what I want you to focus on, if you can see my hands, I'm gripping the floor with my hands, right? And I'm making tiny, tiny adjustments with my hands here. Okay, so that's what we're going for. Whether you can balance or not, doesn't matter. We're getting those hands working. And go ahead and begin. We're gonna go for 20 seconds here. It's a great way to feel your center of gravity over your hands in a much easier position than handstand. Good, if you guys can see his hands are super active, right? That he's kind of making micro adjustments through the fingers. And rest. Okay. We're gonna go through all of that again. Great job. We're gonna go through all of that again, starting with the pike walk-ups. Okay, we're just gonna do 2 rounds of this and then we're gonna move on. 30 seconds, pike walk-ups, and here we go. Good, good, good. And if you guys are new to handstands, this is a great exercise on its own, right? It doesn't just have to be a warm-up exercise. This is a great exercise to start to build strength and stability in your shoulders without having to go fully upside down. Good, look at that shrug. Beautiful, let's get one more good rep. Up, 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 up. Look at that shrug, he's elevating tall and back out. So nice, so nice. All right. What's the next one? Prone line drill. So if you guys are feeling fairly comfortable with this, it's not comfortable, but if you know what I mean, and you want to add a little extra element, what you can do is to start to engage your core. So just enough to lift the belly barely up off the ground. You don't want it to be a huge lift, but just enough to get that little bit of a hollow. If that's too much to try to coordinate, don't worry about it. Just focus on the shoulders. And begin. Yes. So nice. Good. Notice he has that shrug, that elevation, but also pulling backwards. So getting the lower traps to work just as much as those upper traps. Nice. This is your handstand line right here. 3, 2, let's get one more. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's do one more set of that crow. Exact same thing. I want you guys to feel the weight in your hands. Okay, first knuckle is down. Fingers are really, really active. You ready for this? Let's do it. All right, and go for it. Good, good, good. And you can, if you feel pretty comfortable here, you can even start trying to use your hands to move you around a little bit, right? Yeah, there we go. Kaylani's got it. Just like when you're in a handstand, right? Your hands and fingers do a lot of your calibration. And rest. Woohoo! Feel those hands working? Good. Okay, so now we're super warm in the wrists, in the shoulders. We're gonna take a quick shoulder stretch. So we're just gonna do a puppy stretch on the floor. You're gonna bring your hands out in front of you. And again, we wanna create our handstand line, so shoulders up to the ears, and you're just gonna push the armpits towards the floor without arching the back. We wanna keep that little bit of a hollow body here, and we're gonna hold it for a minute. And go for it. And just enjoy it. Good. Awesome way to hold on to that hollow. And again, guys, the stretch is supposed to be for the shoulders, so try not to let it go into your lower back. One of the biggest limiting factors for a lot of people with handstands is their shoulder mobility, right? So ideally, we want to be able to get our wrists right on top of our shoulders, but a lot of us have really tight shoulders, including myself, in this direction. So we got to work on that shoulder mobility. A little over halfway. Good, yeah, he's moving around a little bit. Guys, feel free to do that. Take some bounces, maybe twist one way, twist the other way. How's that feel?
Great.
Good. All right, go ahead and release. And we're just gonna finish up with 2 more movements. One is a needle kick to warm up the legs and hamstrings for kick-ins, and then the other one is a wall-facing scissor. So let's start with that needle kick. Will you show us how it's done? So you guys are gonna stand in a forward fold with hands on the ground. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, you might have to, perfect, yeah, do just what Kaylani's doing. Bend the knees as much as you need to get the hands on the ground, or it can be fingertips, it's fine as well. Then you're gonna take one leg and you're gonna kick it up towards the air behind you, and you're gonna use that little bit of momentum, yeah, to drop the chest down over the top of the thigh. Obviously, our friend here is very flexible. You might not be there today. That's okay, guys. Let's go ahead and get started on one side. And we're going to, yeah, we'll do 30 seconds per side. All right, begin, 30 seconds per side. And again, you might not look like this today. Most of us don't look this flexible when we first get started. So if you are really tight here and you're not getting your chest all the way to your thigh, or you have to bend that knee a lot, it's totally fine. It will get better with practice. I don't know how long Kaylani's been doing this, but some time, I think, right? Some years. Good, guys. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. You'll notice one side is going to be tighter than the other. Good. Use that kick to drop the chest down over the top of the thigh, right? This is similar movement that you would use when you kick into a handstand. Awesome, guys. Let's get a couple more reps in here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. All right. Our only handstand exercise that we're going to do today is a scissor kick, and we're going to move over to our wall space. So guys, this is your opportunity to find your wall space at home. And we're gonna work some scissors. So I love this one as a warm-up because it's just a great drill to kind of find your calibration, right? To get, to feel your shoulders on top of your wrists and your hips on top of your shoulders. So Kaylani is gonna show us how it's done. He's gonna do just a couple reps, and then we'll go all together. So you're gonna walk belly side into the wall, and you wanna leave a little bit of space here, right? Then from here, option 1 is to bring one leg off and then bring it back to the wall. Then bring the other leg off, back to the wall. Okay, if you're pretty comfortable with that, the next step is to try to switch the legs mid-air. Good. Yep, and he's using that scissor to kind of find his balance, to find his core. Beautiful, good, go ahead and come on down. Save your energy because you still got a next set. So you guys choose what you're comfortable with. You'll notice I was kind of spotting Kaylani a little bit. If you don't have a partner, if you're not comfortable bailing out, just do the first one where you bring one leg off, back to the wall, other leg off, back to the wall. The purpose of this is to, when you bring that first leg off, you're using that leg to kind of find your balance, right? Then once you find it, you're switching legs. So we're just gonna do this for 20 seconds. I don't care if you get 10 reps or 2, really slow, controlled, feel that line, all right? Let's walk it up. If you don't get the full 20 seconds either, it's all good, do what you're comfortable with, and begin. So remember everything we practiced before this, right? Really active hands, grip the floor. I got you in case you go over. You're gonna push the shoulders tall, way up to the ears. Good, use your offset leg to find the balance. And then switch, good, go ahead and come on down. Woo, shake it out, nice work. It's one of my favorite drills ever. And we're gonna go into another set of those needle kicks. We can just stay over here for these.
Okay.
Unless you need the mat. You'll probably be fine without it. All right, we're gonna do 30 seconds per side and begin going back down into those needle kicks. Good, good, good. And especially if you guys are planning on working kick-ins, this is a really good one to warm you up. And the more mobile you are in that standing split, the less work you have to do to kick up into a handstand. So it does pay off to have some lower body mobility here too, guys. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Let's get 30 seconds on the other side. Good, good, good. Yep, dropping that chest down. Awesome. Kehlani's doing a great job of really driving that chest down towards the top of the thigh. Good, good, good. We're almost there, guys. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good. Stand up slowly. Yeah. After spending a minute upside down, sometimes you got to stand up slowly, right? So you don't pass out. Okay. Yeah, on handstands. All right, let's do one more set of those scissors. Go ahead and walk it in. Take whichever variation you're comfortable with. And let's do it 20 seconds. And again, guys, take your time. Don't rush through this. Set everything up first before you try to switch the legs. So grip the floor with the fingers. Push the shoulders up to the ears. Use that offset leg to find the balance. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and come on down. Good. There we go. Yeah, it's 10 points. 10 points. All right, you guys, that is it for our handstand prep. Of course, you're always welcome to do more than 2 rounds if you need it, but that should get your shoulders and wrists good and ready to do more intense handstand work. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.